Hi, I'm Katie. I'm your social worker. And you're?
I'm Kimberly.
Nice to meet you. So I'm just going to go ahead and explain confidentiality before we get started with anything. So everything that you say in here stays between us unless there's harm to self, harm to others, or child or elderly abuse. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. So tell me why you're here.
So I tested positive for a drug test and my family's really mad about it, but I don't really think that it was my fault.
What makes you think that?
Well, my parents, they always have issues and they're always fighting at home. And I feel like I didn't want to do drugs, but they led me to it.
So you don't think that you played any part in that?
No.
Okay. So it sounds like you have a really chaotic environment at home. Do you have any places that you can go that aren't so chaotic?
I sometimes stay over at my friend's and she's the one that offers me the drugs. She tells me to take my mind off of things. But other than that, no, my family's really chaotic. They always argue in front of my siblings and I. And I go to my friend's house and do drugs because I want to escape.
So even when you leave that chaotic environment, you're then going to an environment that supplies you with the drugs.
Yeah.
Do you have any other places that you can go?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe we can give you a list of resources that'll help you with that. So what age did you first start using drugs?
I first started about 3 years ago.
Okay. And was there any starting event?
Well, things to my parents are starting to get bad. Like, they had always had issues, but up until 3 years ago, it started getting more serious, and they're always arguing. They're always threatening each other, like screaming at each other, and they take out their anger on us sometimes.
Have you all thought about getting family therapy altogether?
My parents don't believe in that.
That's hard. That's very hard. Have you found anything else that you can do instead of using drugs that seems to help?
No. I feel like drugs is the only thing that can take my mind off of it, and that's the only thing that helps me forget about it for a while.
What is it about the drugs that helps you forget? Just that high?
Yeah, I feel like it calms me down and it makes me forget about my life and my problems, and I can just calm down for a while.
There are many people that find that exercise can give you those same highs. Could you try something like that?
I don't think I'm very good at exercise.
Well, we can always try it. Would that be something that you would be willing to do?
Yeah.
Well, I can provide you with a list of coping skills that can help you with that. Do you know any other influences in your life that are causing you to feel this way?
I think that I can't protect my siblings from their fighting, so it not only affects me, but it affects my siblings, and in a way I feel at blame for it because I can't tell my parents, I can't control my parents, I can't tell them to stop fighting in front of them, or I don't have money to take my siblings out of that house, or my parents don't take advice from me, like to stop fighting in front of them, so I feel like I am to blame for that too.
So it seems like maybe you're a little bit stuck because you need the money to get your siblings out of that place, but you also need a job to get that money. But with the drugs, then you can't have your job.
Yeah.
Have you thought of any other ways that you can make money that wouldn't require a job with a drug test?
I thought of selling drugs.
But then you run the risk of going to prison.
Yeah.
It seems like you're stuck in a really tough position. So what do you think would help keep you off of drugs?
Honestly, I think that it's just my parents. I think that y'all could talk to them or give them some sort of therapy, like you said. I didn't know that existed, and I don't think that they would like it at first, but I feel like it would really help them. And if you're able to help them, then they'll stop fighting, and maybe everything in my house will be calm again, and I won't have to do drugs anymore.
Yeah, I think that we could definitely do that. Do you also think that maybe taking a little bit of responsibility for the drugs could help?
I don't think it's my fault, but maybe if my parents accepted what they're costing me, then maybe I can also take partial blame for it.
Absolutely, yeah. See, that it could be partially your fault and partially the circumstances that you're in.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. So our time is just about up, but I've heard you say today that, you don't believe that the drugs are your fault, but that you could see a future where maybe you see that it is partially your fault, partially your parents. It sounds like you live in a pretty chaotic environment here and don't have a lot of places to go when you're trying to leave that environment, and the only place that you really do have is a place that does supply you with the drugs, and that maybe we need to find you a job where you could go without a drug test, something like that. Does that all sound right?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you for meeting with me today.
Thank you for helping.